Kings and queens, your majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust you and yours are well and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my esteemed subscribers. You love celebrated and of course appreciated. I saw something. It might sound funny. It might sound not serious, but there is a message it carries. Now, why am I bringing this here? I'm bringing this here because we have discussions about things like this as well. There is a school of thought out there. It might not be a school of thoughts, but there are people out there who believe that when we say life started from Africa is not true, which is they are entitled to their opinion. They have a reason why they are refusing to believe that. They believe that African Americans do not come from Africa. Now, when you talk about the out of Africa story, there are a lot of Americans who want to cut you short. They're so angry with you. They will let you know that they do not come from Africa. Now, I think there is a misconception here, okay, or misunderstanding rather. We are not saying that every African American or every black person in America came from Africa. That is not the message we are sending out. If others are sending that message, I am not sending that message. We believe, we understand from history, from researches, that there were black people in America before the slave trade era. There were Africans already who had migrated on their own. They navigated the sea to America before slave trade. So the white man want to tell you that the first ship that came on the shores of the continent is the ships that came to carry slaves. No, that is not the first ship on the shores of the continent. Africa knew how to travel on water before the ships came in. So there were Africans who were already in America. There were black people who already inhabit America before Columbus himself. And that is why in his documentary he said that he met black people already in that land. So we have black people who are originals to that land. In short, as melanated, you're original to the world, you're original to the earth. I don't know why we keep dragging this issue here and there. I'm saying this because of the comments that a lot of African Americans were living under this discussion. I'm rolling in the clip soon, Your Majesty. The comment that African Americans, okay, they say we should not call them African Americans. The comment that black people were living under the comments of this video is something else, Your Majesties. It is something else. Do not get it twisted. There were black people existing in America before slave trade. And do not rule out, that is a mistake many black people in America are making. They want to rule out the fact that during the slave trade, they took in Africans from Africa to America. There were lots of Africans that were taken as slaves, that were enslaved, okay? They took them from Africa to America. So we should not rule out that fact. In as much as we are not ruling the fact that there were Africans, black people already in America before slave trading, we should not also rule out the fact that there was out of Africa story. That is what I want to clear out. So let's listen to his own opinion and then we judge based on the comments, based on what he had said, Your Majesties.
I got a question for black Americans that think they came from Africa. Okay, listen up. Have you ever seen an African from Africa over there with an afro and a beard? I'm waiting. No, you haven't. You know why? Because we're not from Africa. You know what I'm saying? We're not from Africa. Their hair don't grow like ours. They don't grow beards. They don't.
You know what? Come to think of it, I think he's really right. I've never seen any African with afro in my life before.
I'm telling you.
If you have seen any, I want to know. But me personally, I've never seen any African with afro on their head before. We don't even grow beard. Like, have you seen any African growing beard before? If you have any grandfather or any, any uncle with beard like this, they probably went for implants.
You don't know.
They paid thousands of dollars. I mean, I don't see any hair on this man's head, but then, yeah, I know what afro looks like. We don't grow hair. Now, if you guys don't know, the whole Africa came from America. The ones who stayed behind in America, they became the African American.
You get it?
And we that we came to Africa, we became Africans.
Look at my face.
And for the skin, it's just a coincidence. We don't even have a skin like them. I stand with Uncle Rakus. Brakweku stand on business. African Americans are not from Africa.
Oh my, he's just being sarcastic. That is what's his name? At Kobe Buji, that's the name of the creator. Now, Your Majesties, let's talk business. Let's be serious here. What is our problem as Black people? I don't know. That we confidently sit down like he did. He confidently sat down and he's making statements like this. But for what? What is the aim? To cut yourself from Africa. You don't want to have any connection with Africa. Fine and good. But what are you saying? Why are you making yourself a laughing stock? How will you say that Africans don't grow hair and they don't grow beard? For goodness sake. And like he said, Kobe said, he himself talking, there's nothing on his head. He don't even have anything on the head. And he said Africans don't grow afro. But what is afro? When they say Afro, what comes to your mind? African. So what are we saying, Your Majesties? Your Majesties, what are we saying? Most of the times there are decisions we make. Most of the times there are comments we make just because we want to prove something that we believe in, right? You believe in something does not mean it's the right thing, and you cannot force other people to believe in it. Why are you making it now a school of thought for people? And a lot of Black people in America will believe that Africans don't grow afro and they don't grow beard. Come on. You see, the level where this thing is going now, I don't know. But it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. Oh, because from Africa. Oh, Africans don't grow beard, and you just disgraced yourself at this point. And the painful thing, a lot of Black people accept his discussion. They agreed that Africans don't grow afro and they don't grow beard. A lot of Black people, I don't want to call you African Americans again because you say you are not African American. A lot of Black people in America accepted him. So they are following him. A lot of them, they are happy with this. Because they are so angry with Africa and Africans that they don't want to have anything to do with Africa or Africans. So they are totally in agreement with what Uncle Rakus has said. They are in total agreement with him. And this breaks my heart. I bleed within to see how far disconnected we have become, how far we have cut ourselves. We don't want any connection with Africa, no problem. But why are we doing what we're doing? You don't know that as melanated in America, if Africa is not liberated and Africa is not respected, there's no way you will be free. You don't know that. Majority of you, I'm sorry that I'm saying this, it's not all of you, okay? Some few of you understand, and I'm grateful that you do. But majority of Black people in America, because I'm saying this based on what I've come across, people I've communicated with, okay? Quite a good number, now let me not say majority, quite a good number of Black people in America buy ideas like this. Remember last time, there was a music that was trending in America, okay? One of you sent me that music of that woman who sang, "Oh, we're not from we're from America, we're not from Africa. You are this, you are that, you are not Black. Black is a curse." Remember that video? One of you sent me that information. I brought you all here, you heard it. Majority of Black people in America make videos, sing music, they sing songs saying that they are not from Africa, they are from America. What do you think you are doing? What do you think you're doing? And after you do like this and tomorrow you come back to Africa and Africans begin to treat you the way you don't like, you end up saying that Africans do not like you, Africans hate you. But you will not remember when you are rejecting Africans like this. You are rejecting Africans like this. It is unfortunate. It is up here we have deliberations, we had discussions of how America was so close to Africa, of how migration movement up and down by our ancestors was so easy. And it was up here as well that we had that discussion of how Africa and America was very close. Okay, I discussed that with you here from this book, The Dictatorland, and I told you not just me, but the book explained to us that okay, let me go through it again. Okay, the scattering of mankind to every corner of the earth began relatively recently, just 70,000 years ago. One group crossed what is now the Bab el Mandeb Straits, the pinch between East Africa and Arabian Peninsula, scrolling across the shallow seas in rafts secured by vines. Others headed north to milder and more fertile climes. This is Africans migrating. When they found their route blocked by the Mediterranean Sea, they were forced across the Sinai into the Middle East, and then spread into the tropics of Central Asia. Others edged closer to the ice, okay, and the snowy wilderness of the north, finally pushing over the top of the world from East Asian Arctic to the Americas. Do you now understand that migration out of Africa, black people migrated out of Africa and moved around the world before slavery? So why are you trying to rule out the fact that Africans existed in America, then migrated themselves to America? You want to make it look like you just fell from the sky into America. Your Majesties, okay? But wherever mankind traveled and prospered, nothing would match the natural riches that they left behind in Africa. I will not be tired. Most of you have read this, right? And there are other books where you can get other informations. You see, books like this, okay, the states of Africa, how Africa was before a slave trade, okay? These informations are all there. Your Majesties, and I'm going to leave more as this video progresses so that you look into it and you leave your thoughts and opinion there at the section, Your Majesties. Bye for now.
But melanated people on this planet, South America and Africa, were connected. And there was a thriving empire, a civilization that stretched from what we know as Central America, South America now, all the way to the land of ancient Kemet, down to the great Congo, the Holy Lands. The Congo jungle and the Amazon jungle made a super jungle. And this was the time when the Olmec Empire, the Aztec Empire, was created simultaneously after the one in Kemet. You understand me? Then a great cataclysm happened, breaking South America off from Africa. After that, the civilizations known as the Olmec, the Aztec, and the Inca went into demise and were taken over by Neanderthals' descendants, a straight-haired population. Study. For the more you study, the more options you will have. And the more options definitely means the more power.
How did these Africans come to the New World? Okay, now one of the things, as I have pointed out, in the metallurgy, like the steel, etc., in astronomy, etc., there is a profound misunderstanding of African capacity. The Africans had ships. This is one of them. This is in East Africa. This ship, this is just a model which I found in Fort Mombasa in Kenya. This ship is a 70-tonner. Ships like these in the 13th century before Columbus took elephants to China, right across the Indian Ocean. But this is just, they had ships like this in East Africa before Christ, but there were ships in North Africa, along the Mediterranean, that were far more sophisticated than any ships the Europeans had. European shipping is not even European. The sail Columbus used comes out of the Arab-African world. The astrolabe comes out of the Arab-African world. They found in the desert before Columbus, in the period before Columbus, the Africans were using compasses and nautical instruments to navigate the desert. They had these instruments which were used to navigate the sea. They've done studies recently of navigation in West Africa showing the Africans did have boats along the Niger. The African had boats that could take 3 camels aboard ship. They had cabins, all of these along the Niger, which opens, if you go down the Senegambia at a certain point, it opens out into the Atlantic, and the Africans did have empires with an Atlantic border.
This is a simple question. It's going to sound simple, but you're talking about black people.
Yes.
Okay.
And on several occasions, Africans were able to make that journey. If you look at a map of currents, and we will look more closely at this later on in the program, you will see there are 3 currents that take you from Africa to America. Africa is half the distance from America as is Europe. Not only is it half the distance, it is far easier to get from Africa to America because the currents take you automatically. In other words, you don't have to know of the existence of America. Even Columbus was not aware of the existence of America. He came off the North Atlantic. Columbus thought he was going to India, and he struck out for the latitude of Japan, hoping to land in India, and he swore he was in India. That is why people like myself are called West Indians. I'm the Indian he found in the West. And Americans are called American Indians because he thought they were in India. So that you have these currents which take you automatically. European ships did not use these currents until the second voyage, when Columbus used that knowledge which he got from the Portuguese about Africans. On the third voyage, on the second voyage, Columbus heard from the American natives in Hispaniola, which is now known as Haiti and San Domingo, that Africans had come to the Native Americans. The Americans told Columbus that. He recorded it in his journals that Africans had come to them trading in gold-tipped spears. Columbus sent samples of those spears. They were studied, they were surveyed in Spain, and they were found to contain the same ratio of gold, silver, and copper alloys as those found in West African Guinea.
So were these Africans swept along this current?
Yes.
Or did they come purposely?
Initially, it was an accident. Just like initially Columbus's so-called discovery, rather his coming here in a late period, was an accident.
What's the name of this current?
There are several of them. There's the South Equatorial Current, there's the North Equatorial Current. These currents there's a current coming off the Senegambia coast, there's a current coming off the Cape Verde Islands, there's a current coming up from the southern part of Africa. These currents all move towards South America, into the Caribbean, into the Gulf of Mexico. And there's a return current. And we have evidence that Africans not only went, but in a late pre-Columbian period, they also returned, because we found American things which Africans brought back. Just as we have found African things in America, they found American things which Africans brought back with them, such as the cotton in the Cape Verde Islands.
Are these currents still?
Oh yes, for thousands of years, these currents have been in existence. This has been tested. 200 small boats, some of them smaller than the major African boats, have crossed the Atlantic. They have been tested. Thor Heyerdahl, the Norwegian explorer, got Africans to build a ship used long before the birth of Christ, used in Egypt and Ethiopia. And this ship was made of papyrus reed, and the scientists said it couldn't float. And Heyerdahl insisted, and the Africans under Abdullah de Jibrin